Good morning everyone, selamat datang semuanya. Ketemu lagi hari ini di EF Talks sama Miss Vicky di sini. Senang banget semuanya yang udah siap belajar setiap Sabtu pagi datang lagi di sini. Nah sebelumnya terima kasih semuanya yang udah nunggu di waiting room dari tadi, karena sekarang kita akan memulai nih belajar Sabtu pagi ini bareng dengan Mr. John. Kayak yang kemarin udah teman-teman udah daftar ya. Jadi hari ini kita topiknya IELTS nih teman-teman. Jadi kalau seandainya kalian emang lagi cari-cari soal materi IELTS atau memang sengaja banget untuk nantinya prepare buat masuk kuliah atau masuk sekolah atau masuk kerjaan, kebetulan pas banget kalian ada di sini pagi hari ini karena kita akan belajar sama-sama gimana caranya untuk meningkatkan band kalian di IELTS. Nah, sebelum kita mulai lanjut lagi nih, kita sapa dulu sebentar yuk sama pembicara kita hari ini, yaitu Mr. John, Senior Teacher Manager. Hi, Mr. John. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Okay, I'm good too, actually. I'm very pleased to be here today.
Good.
Okay, so Mr. John, a bit of a sneak peek. What are we going to talk about today? What kind of IELTS?
We are going to talk specifically about writing and speaking.
Writing and speaking. So is it like the hardest part or like the mediocre part of the IELTS?
They're all the same, so they're all hard.
They're all hard. Okay, so everyone, you hear Mr. John that they are all hard. Jadi tadi katanya Mr. John semuanya kan agak sulit nih teman-teman. Jadi memang kalau seandainya teman-teman sebelumnya udah tahu nih soal IELTS itu ada 4 section. Tapi hari ini kita akan bahas 2, yaitu speaking section sama writing section, di mana itu juga perlu banget untuk teman-teman langsung pelajari dari ahlinya. Nah, sebelum Vicky sapa juga, mau ingetin aja, untuk teman-teman yang baru pertama kali gabung di Zoom, jangan lupa untuk mematikan audionya ya, supaya nanti ketika pembicara ngobrol, teman-teman itu nggak mengganggu teman-teman yang lainnya. Dan juga nanti suaranya Mr. John bisa terdengar jelas sama kalian. Dan juga yang kedua, kalian boleh banget nih untuk menyalakan kamera, supaya kita bisa ada sesi yang interaktif dan kita bisa ngelihat keseruan kalian semua hari ini di sini. Oke teman-teman, juga Vicky mau ingetin untuk tetap stay sampai akhir acara, karena nanti di akhir acara kita akan bagikan e-sertifikat gratis buat semuanya yang hadir di sini, yang nanti e-sertifikat itu bisa kalian gunakan di semua tempat. Jadi bisa kalian masukin ke LinkedIn kalian, bisa kalian masukin ke reference kalian untuk masuk kuliah, bisa juga kalian masukin untuk semuanya. Jadi kalian akan punya sertifikat peserta sudah mengikuti IELTS section bersama EF tentang writing dan juga speaking. Jadi keep stay sampai akhir acara. Mungkin kita juga mau ada informasi sedikit nih sebelum kita mulai lagi. Apalagi nih informasinya? Oh, dapatkan konsultasi pendidikan gratis. Nah, mungkin teman-teman di sini juga udah ada yang pernah nih sebelum kita mulai ya. Udah ada yang pernah tahu tentang IF, atau mungkin udah sempat tanya-tanya nih tentang IF, tapi mungkin belum join, atau bahkan di sini ada student IF juga. Nah, welcome to you all. Kalau seandainya kalian tertarik sebenarnya untuk kayak tahu-tahu tentang IF, atau kalian juga udah kepikiran untuk, Miss, aku tuh sebenarnya bisa bahasa Inggris, tapi kayak aku nggak tahu levelku seberapa. Nah, nanti kalian akan dapat konsultasi gratis sama teacher-teacher IF, kayak Mr. John di sini, dengan caranya cuma tinggal save aja nomor HP IF yang ada di layar, di 0822-2000-1000, dan kalian bisa kasih tahu nih nama sama usia kalian berapa. Jadi kalian bisa chat, simpen nomornya, terus kasih tahu nama saya Vicky, usia 27 tahun, mau konsultasi dan tahu informasinya dari seminar. Dan ketika kalian bilang IF Talks atau seminar IF, konsultasinya gratis tanpa biaya sepeser pun. Jadi kalian bisa langsung datang ke IF terdekat untuk dapat konsultasi itu, atau secara online juga ada. Jadi jangan lupa untuk di-save nomornya IF ya. Nah, itu aja nih informasinya, Mr. Farid. That's it? Oke. Nah, sekarang mungkin teman-teman di sini udah nggak sabar, tapi sebelumnya mau absen dulu, di sini dari kota mana aja. So, Mr. John, we're gonna ask them where they came from, because this is like online session and probably all over Indonesia gonna come. So, jadi teman-teman coba cek di kolom chat box, kira-kira kalian dari mana aja. Coba dong kalau seandainya memang suaranya udah kedengeran jelas, layarnya juga udah bisa lihat. Coba ketik. Oh, can you see the chat box, Mr. John?
I can see some things coming in, yeah, very fast.
Yeah, so where are they all came from? They say some of them are even come from Papua in Jayapura. Say hi, Marie.
Amazing. Hello.
Hello, you all from Jayapura. Gresik. We have EF in
We
Gresik.
do have an EF in Gresik, yeah.
And where is your center is? In Surabaya?
I'm in Surabaya at campus.
Okay.
Been there for 3 years now.
Okay.
But at EF for 10 years.
Oh wow. So jadi Mr. John di sini memang udah experience banget ya untuk ngajar. Oh, so there is someone actually in Thailand.
Sydney also.
But he came from
Sydney?
Malang. And it's Sydney. Okay, hello you all from Surabaya. Kita di sini lokasinya ada di Surabaya, teman-teman. Jadi, kita juga welcome semuanya dari semua kota, semua negara. Dan kalau seandainya kalian penasaran sama kita semua yang ada di sini nih, bisa banget untuk stalking semua TikTok atau Instagram IF Surabaya. Tapi kita juga open untuk semuanya. Okay, so Mr. John, maybe we already cannot wait, eager to know what all of the presentation is about, the IELTS style. So maybe you can start the material.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay, so after this we're gonna share the presentation. Nah, di sini bakalan di-share ya teman-teman. Vicky juga mau ngingetin kalau seandainya di sini teman-teman memang punya pertanyaan nih nanti selama materi berlangsung, boleh banget untuk ketik di kolom chat box aja. Jadi nanti ketika kita lagi ada sesi kosong nih, kita bisa bahas jawabannya dari pertanyaan teman-teman itu tadi. Oke, semuanya udah kelihatan di layar ya. IELTS. So what is IELTS? Maybe we can say.
What is IELTS? It's well, you can see here, International English Language Testing System.
Okay.
So essentially it's an English test. But what it's useful for is if you would like to go to university abroad, say Australia, we've got someone in Sydney, or the US, UK, Canada, it's accepted worldwide.
Okay.
Or even after that, it can be useful for jobs.
Okay.
Jobs abroad will ask you for an English examination.
Oke, so ya mungkin teman-teman di sini kalau seandainya udah ada yang pernah dengar soal IELTS, itu memang penting untuk kalian punya kalau seandainya kalian punya rencana untuk keluar negeri ya terutama. Karena biasanya negara-negara tertentu itu cuma mau nerima IELTS aja karena dia memang paling reliable. Is that true? Maybe
Yes,
it's like the most
well respected.
Well respected.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why you probably important. Nah, itu makanya tadi kenapa kita harapannya ketika teman-teman udah tahu nih IELTS itu bentuknya seperti apa, ketika nanti kalian perlu untuk pakai IELTS, nah itu udah siap dan udah tahu karena udah pernah ikut seminarnya EF. Okay, Mr. John, what else we need to know about IELTS?
What else do we need to know?
Maybe you prepare something about the scoring level, or
Oh well, yes. There's 9 bands.
Okay.
This will change. There we go. So there's 9 bands or scores.
Yeah.
9 is the best, as you can see on the screen. That's expert.
Okay.
And then a 0 is obviously the lowest you can get.
Okay.
But for universities, as I think most people here would be interested in universities rather than jobs, they usually ask for a 6 or a 7.
Okay, so it's like depend on the university or?
It does, yeah. So for example, a student we had recently, their university, they're now in Australia, their university asked for 6.5. But
Okay.
then another student wanted to go to the UK and they asked for a 7. So you always have to check with the university.
Okay, but like, what if you were like average English? What score you will probably get if you don't learn, or you just like, you know, I can speak English, but like little, I can.
Little, maybe 2 to 4.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, depend on your grammatical, something like that.
Yeah. If you don't speak a lot, you probably get 2 to 4. You see here, intermittent user.
Okay, I see. Intermittent modus. Okay, I see. Okay, I will explain it to them. Nah, jadi teman-teman, tadi katanya Mr. John di sini, kalau seandainya IELTS sendiri ini punya band. Jadi namanya band ya, kalian jangan sampai salah lagi. Bukan skor, bukan poin atau apapun, tapi namanya band, B-A-N-D. Jadi bandnya IELTS ini ada 9. Kalau seandainya yang 9 itu berarti kalian tuh paling expert, udah yang kayak native speaker lah ngomongnya, udah spesialis bahasa Inggris, amazing. Nah, kalau 0 tuh berarti kalian nggak bisa bahasa Inggris sama sekali. Tapi kalau seandainya kalian kayak little I can, itu biasanya sekitar 2-4. Tapi kalau seandainya kalian aiming nih untuk kayak ke universitas luar negeri, biasanya mereka itu mintanya 6,5. Atau tadi kata Mr. John juga, kalau seandainya ada yang mau ke UK atau United Kingdom Inggris, maka mereka mungkin mintanya sekitar 7. Jadi kalian tahu nih kira-kira kalian tuh harus nge-aim di band yang nomor berapa. Okay, Mr. John. And then, so we know all about the banding.
Yeah.
How about we continue to the writing part?
Sure. So yes, we're going to start with writing.
Okay.
And after that, we'll do some speaking.
Okay.
I believe next week is listening and reading. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, writing. But first, before I start talking a lot, I thought we should ask, what do you already know? So I hope you can see the question on the slide. I'm going to ask you, how many tasks are there in the writing section of an IELTS test? You know?
Nah, teman-teman di sini boleh coba cap-cip-cup aja ya kalau belum tahu sama sekali. Habis ini akan ada poll masuk nih. Jadi bisa kalian pikir ada berapa nih jumlah task yang ada di writing section. Kira-kira A, B, C, atau D. A tadi 1, B 2, C 3, D4. Okay, a lot of answer already come in, Mr. John.
Right there.
Quick.
No one's gone for A. No one.
No one gone for A. It's too easy, baby.
Yeah.
No way, there's only one task. Iya, teman-teman, nggak mungkin lah ada cuma 1 di writing section. Jadi ada berapa nih kira-kira? 2, 3, 4. Oke, semuanya udah jawab? Mungkin dikasih waktu, maybe we'll give them 5 seconds to answer.
5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so Mr. John, 68% says B or 2 tasks. I bet there is like 4 or like 8 tasks. Is that correct?
8 is an option, Miss Vicky. No, congratulations to the 68% who said B. That is correct. 2 parts. Sounds easy, right? Only 2 parts?
Ya, cuma 2, kayaknya gampang.
We'll find out.
Okay.
So well done. I've got another question for you though.
Okay.
1 second.
How many tasks are there? Jadi sebenarnya ada 2 task ya teman-teman kalau seandainya writing section. Cuman tasknya bentuknya kayak gimana, dan nanti juga Mr. John akan ngasih tips and trick untuk ngerjain writing tasknya.
Next question.
Okay.
So we know there's 2 tasks, but how long do you have to complete 2 tasks? Is it 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, or 80 minutes?
Nah, coba di sini cap-cip-cup, kira-kira tahu nggak ada berapa lama? Jadi bisa jawab A, B, atau C, atau D. A tadi apa? 20 minutes, 20, 40, 60, and 80 ya?
Yes.
Ya, jadi menurut kalian writing section tuh berapa menit sih teman-teman? 20 menit, 40 menit, 60 menit, atau 80 menit? Cuman ngerjain writing-nya doang ya? Cuman ngerjain writing-nya doang, kira-kira butuh berapa menit? Okay.
Close. In the poll.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oke. Nah, teman-teman di sini jawab 53% jawab B. So 53% answer like 40 minutes. 32% answer 60 minutes. What do you think, Mr. John? Are they correct? I bet it's like probably 10 minutes.
Again, not an option, Miss Vicky. On the poll, it is C.
Oh, C, really? 1 hour?
You get an hour to do 2 tasks.
Oke, nah jadi teman-teman untuk kerjain writing section itu ternyata kalian butuh waktu 1 jam untuk ngerjain 2 task tadi. Oke, interesting.
Okay.
And then?
Next one.
Okay.
So this is just A or B now.
So
50-50 chance. We know there's 2 tasks, but are the tasks in every test? So if I did it next week and then Miss Vicky did it next year, are the tasks always the same style? So for example, task 1, is it always a chart, and task 2 always an essay or a letter or whatever? Are they always the same or do they change? So are they always the same? Yes for A, B for no.
Oke, nah jadi Mr. John juga mau ngetes nih, kira-kira kalian tahu nggak kalau seandainya kalian ngerjainnya hari ini sama ngerjainnya besok, kira-kira soalnya bakalan sama atau beda? Siapa yang jawab sama? Kalau seandainya menurut kalian sama, if it's the same, it's A ya?
The same, always the same, yes.
Oke. Kalau seandainya menurut kalian sama nih pasti, nggak mungkin lah beda-beda. Masa mau nyetak 10 kali 365 soal dalam sebulan? Bisa jadi. Nah, menurut kalian sama atau beda? Okay, it's like almost 50-50 actually.
Yeah.
Say yes and no.
It is
Interesting.
50.
One. Okay, thank you for your answer semuanya. So what do you think, Mr. John?
Well, 53% said no.
Okay.
47% said yes.
And the answer is?
Congratulations to the 53%. It is not the same.
Oh, so it's actually different.
They can change, yes.
Jadi kayak berubah, so like every day or every person, what do you think?
It depends. So the IELTS will have a number of tests, and it's random which one you get on the day, and there's different task types.
Oh, oke. Jadi ada mereka tuh punya list-list soal gitu ya. Contohnya mungkin kode A, kode B, kode C, dan kalian nggak tahu bakal dapet yang mana. Kayak gitu. Makanya itu bakalan selalu random kalau seandainya kalian ngambil tes hari ini atau besok atau kapanpun. Okay.
So your friend,
nice to know.
if your friend did it last week, you can't just ask them, oh, what was it? What kind of thing did they give you? Because it always changes.
Oke. Jadi kalau seandainya temannya kalian yang udah ngerjain, kalian juga nggak bisa nanya, soalnya bisa jadi beda. Oke. Okay?
So,
that was nice to know.
Yes.
So we cannot cheat. Oh, I got kicked out.
Two are in the waiting room. Is that you? Am I still on?
Okay.
Are they still seeing me?
Yeah.
Nah.
Sorry, we had a slight technical issue.
Okay, we're back. Nah, tadi maaf ya sempat ke-kick sebentar. Biasa Zoom. Cuman kalian juga bisa lihat di YouTube kalau seandainya kalian nanti emang kerasa kayak kok kayaknya aku koneksinya nggak oke ya. Kita juga live streaming di Zoom. Jadi kalian bisa move ke Zoom. Cuman tapi kalian YouTube. Kalian bisa move ke YouTube. Cuman nggak bisa ikutan poll, jadi seruan ada di Zoom supaya bisa ngobrol langsung. Nah, okay, Mr. John, maybe do you have any more question?
I've got one more.
Okay, I cannot wait.
Okay, ready? Last one.
Okay, last one.
So we know there's 2 tasks. Sometimes they change. You've got an hour. Are the 2 tasks worth the same amount of points? So we know task 1, task 2. So are 50% of the points for task 1 and 50% of the tasks points for task 2?
Is that correct?
Or is it different?
Oke. Jadi menurut kalian ada 2 task itu tadi poinnya sama atau beda? Kalau menurut kalian sama, jawab A. Kalau menurut kalian kayaknya beda deh, jawab B. Ayo coba kita pengen tahu. Coba cap-cip-cup aja nih. Menurut kalian sama atau beda? Maybe we can count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you everyone who participate. 40% answer yes and 60% answer no. But what is the correct answer, Mr. John?
Well done to whoever said no. It's B. So 60% of you. Well done.
Okay.
Unlucky. 40%. So no. The 2 tasks not worth the same points. Actually, task 2 is worth twice the points of task 1.
Really? So is it like better you focus more on task 2?
Not exactly focus more, but you maybe want to leave yourself more time.
Okay. Okay. So
it's worth double.
So, Mister, do you have to like adjust your own timing on doing it, or like the examiner will be like, okay, this is you have 10 minutes to do task 1. Or like 50 minutes to do task 2, or we just have to do it by ourselves?
You have to manage your own time.
Okay,
they will give you an hour, and then it's up to you what you do with that hour.
Oke, jadi pokoknya kalian akan dikasih list soal aja nih teman-teman. Soal 1 sama soal 2. Kalian terus dapat 60 menit untuk ngerjain itu, dan kalian tinggal nentuin sendiri atau kalian memanage sendiri kira-kira berapa menit yang kalian butuhkan di task 1 dan berapa menit yang kalian butuhkan di task 2. Cuman kayak tadi Mr. John bilang, tas 2 punya skor 2 kali lipat lebih banyak daripada tas pertama. Jadi biasanya nih kadang-kadang kalau kita ngerjain soal kan suka tuh dapat soal pertama dikerjain aja fokus sampai bagus banget. Terus habis itu soal keduanya udah nggak ada waktu gitu kan, udah sisa 10 menit. Padahal kalau di IELTS yang kedua itu poinnya justru lebih gede. Jadi kalian harus memanage waktu kalian dengan baik supaya bisa scoring dua-duanya nih dengan baik. Oke, Mr. John. Very nice tips. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess we've looked and talked about tasks. We know there's 2 tasks.
Okay.
We should probably have a look at the tasks.
Okay. I can't wait. Kayak gimana sih bentuknya, penasaran kan? Aku juga.
So a little summary here for you.
Okay.
2 writing tasks, 60 minutes, 2 questions. So what are they? Task 1. This is the official IELTS explanation of task 1. So you will be presented with a graph, table, chart, or diagram and asked to describe, summarize, or explain the information in your own words. You may be asked to describe and explain data, describe the stages of a process, how something works, or describe an object or event. And they ask you for 150 words.
Okay.
So some students get a little bit confused with in your own words. And they maybe think, oh, I'll see a graph or a chart and I should give my opinions on it. What maybe happens the year after the chart finishes, or what we could do to improve the numbers on the chart. Does it ask for your own words? Actually, that's not what they want at all.
Okay.
They want you to stick to the graph or chart completely. Only describe what you can see, only summarize what you can see. Do not talk about any other data or numbers.
Okay.
Or opinions. The in your own words part means do not use the task. They will give you a task. Do not use those words.
Do not copy it.
Do not copy from that onto your answer.
Okay, I see.
But they do not want your opinion, basically.
Okay.
Or your thoughts on future events. Just describe what you see.
Okay, so is it like pretty common for your student to like use their own words or opinion in this type of?
Almost every time, yeah.
Every time, okay.
So in a class, I usually would give them a practice on task 1, but not really give any tips, just to see what they produce. And almost always they give their opinion, or they might say, oh, the government should improve this by doing such and such a thing to get the graph to move up. And you get 0 points for that.
Okay.
No points given. They won't subtract points from you. But 75, if 75 of your 150 words are giving your opinion, that's half of your writing gets you 0 points.
Okay, I see, understand. Wow. Oke, jadi teman-teman, wah, bit tricky nih kalau apalagi kalian baru pertama kali lihat soalnya IELTS kayak Miss Vicky di sini. Jadi, mungkin bisa lihat ya. Jadi kayak yang di layar itu adalah official yang bakalan kalian terima kalau kalian ngerjain IELTS writing part. Ini tas pertamanya. Dan tadi ini udah dibantu highlight nih sama Mr. John. Untuk bahwa kalian akan disuruh describe, summarize, sama explain tabel atau grafik atau diagram atau chart yang nanti akan dimunculin nih. Dan kalian disuruh membuat informasinya in your own words. Tapi ketika mungkin student-studentnya Mr. John nih terutama, jadi supaya kalian tidak mengulangi kesalahan yang sama, mereka tuh suka masukin opini-opini pribadinya. Ketika dibilang padahal use your own word. Padahal maksudnya di sini use your own word itu bukan untuk memasukkan opini pribadi atau memberikan ekstra data tambahan dan lain-lain. Jadi kayak contohnya nanti kalian nemu bahwa oh ternyata populasi Surabaya meningkat selama 27 tahun gitu. Terus habis itu kalian nambahin jadi government atau pemerintah harus memberikan pil KB atau lain-lain. Nah, itu berarti kalian memberikan opini tambahan yang mana itu tidak akan dapat poin sama sekali katanya Mr. John. Dan percuma banget karena kalian cuma ngabisin energi doang untuk nambahin bahasa Inggrisnya di situ, tapi kalian nggak dapat poin apa-apa. Dan itu nggak akan mengurangi poinnya kalian, cuman kalian malah akan mengurangi, harusnya kan 150 kata nih. Tapi 50 katanya mungkin kalian gunakan untuk itu, dan itu bakalan nggak dinilai sama sekali. Jadi sayang banget. Makanya jadi kalian lebih enak lagi untuk fokus hanya pada chartnya aja. Ini kayaknya ke kick out lagi.
Tapi kalian masih.
Oke, nah teman-teman kayaknya Miss Vicky barusan ke kick out lagi yang di sini, tapi harusnya teman-teman masih bisa dengerin suaranya Miss Vicky ya. Jadi penjelasannya kayak gitu tadi nih untuk task pertama ya, mungkin kalian udah dapat bayangannya. Oke Miss Vicky, aku sekarang mau lihat bentuk soalnya kayak gimana. Do you have an example of the task one, chart or pie?
I do, but before we do that,
Okay.
shall we have a look? We've got a graph, table, chart, or diagram. That's
Okay.
what it says.
Uh-huh.
Let's have a quick look at some examples of those. You might see something like this.
Okay. Wow.
But you'll only see one of them. But like we said, it can change each test.
Oh my God,
Which
it looks
one you're gonna
complicated.
get. So, I've put numbers here. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Miss Vicky, which one do you think number 1 is? Is it a graph, a chart, table, or a diagram, or
diagram, graph, chart? What do you think? I don't know.
What do you think? Put it in the chat box.
Ya, coba teman-teman masuk di chat box. Kira-kira nomor 1 itu menurut kalian graph, paragraf, chart, atau diagram? BTW ini ada yang jawab. Some of them say data.
Data.
Pilihannya, there's only 4 options, right?
Yeah. Chart, table, diagram, or graph.
Oke. Menurut kalian yang nomor 1 itu apa?
Which one's number 1?
Oke, mungkin ada yang jawab.
What are they saying in the chat, Barry?
Graph, chart,
Line,
graph, line,
Okay, so what it is actually?
chart. I think it's chart.
It's not.
Really?
Most of the chat seem to be right, so well done. It is a graph.
Oke, grafik ya, grafik kalau bahasa Indonesia teman-teman. So is it like the graph is always looks like that? Okay.
Well, it could be different, but that is an example of a graph.
Okay.
What about number 2? What would you say that is?
I know that is chart.
Well, that is correct. Well done.
Thank you. Nah, teman-teman ya, benar. Nah, tuh semuanya tahu. Everybody knows that it's a chart.
Yeah, well, okay, fine. Challenge you some more. What kind of chart?
Oh, oke. Nah, teman-teman itu apa ya? Oh, so Desi, Dora, Yuan, and Davin say it's like bar chart.
Yuan, Davin, Aya, Tati.
Thank you, Siti Nabila, Meriska,
Well done.
Aldelia.
But of course, it could be a different kind of chart.
Okay.
It could be a pie chart. It's not always the same, is the point.
Okay, I see.
I think the last 2, 3, and 4 are quite easy. What they are, I hope. So what would we say number 3 is?
Easy. Table.
Yes.
Yeah, is it table?
So that means number 4 must be
Diagram.
There might be different styles. Again, these are just some examples.
Okay.
There are some questions, Mr. John. Are these 4 kinds of these things will appear in one task or only one each?
That's a good question. No, just if you do your test, you'll get one of these for task 1 to describe. You won't get for all 4 types. But you don't know which one you're going to get on the day. So you have to practice for all of the types because you have to be ready for which one they give you on the day. And there's slightly different techniques to describe each of them.
Okay. Wow. Jadi seperti yang tadi udah dilihat di layar itu apa aja gitu ya bentuknya, serem-serem semua. Dan ternyata nanti kalian yang dapat juga cukup random. Jadi benar-benar random, kalian akan dapat salah satu aja dari yang ada di layar atau bahkan bentuk lainnya juga. Kayak tadi Mr. John bilang, bukan cuma bar chart aja yang ada di layar, tapi bisa juga kalian dapat pie chart atau kalian bisa dapat another kind of chart, line chart dan lain-lain. Dan kalian harus be prepare nih, harus udah tahu caranya untuk mengatasi setiap jenis chartnya. Untuk kalian bisa dapat skor yang paling maksimal ketika kalian mengerjakan writing task part 1-nya ini tadi. Nah, jadinya nanti kita akan kulik-kulik sedikit nih. Nggak mungkin kita bahas semuanya dong di sini hari ini. Bisa sampai besok kita di sini. Jadi teman-teman, nanti kita akan bahas tips and triknya. Gimana caranya untuk ngerjain task number 1 ini tadi. Dan Mr. John tentu aja akan kasih kita tips gimana supaya kita bisa belajar lebih lanjut lagi untuk bisa lebih mantap untuk ngerjain shortnya seperti ini. Oke, Mr. John?
Okay. We should probably look at an example.
Okay, nice.
Unfortunately, we don't have time to go through all 4 of the types today, but let's have a look at one. So we have a graph this time, and this is how they will give you your task on the day.
Okay.
The wording will be a lot like this. They will tell you what the graph shows, or the chart shows, or the diagram shows. So this one shows the number of university graduates in Canada from 1992 to 2007.
Okay.
And then they will give you your task. We can see that this one says, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. And you've got 150 words, remember. By the way, you will be penalized if you go under 150 words, but you can write more and no penalty. But the problem with writing more is time.
Okay, I see. Jadi teman-teman tadi juga sempat bilang di yang task pertama ini kan ada tulisannya 150 kata minimal. Dan kalian akan kena penalti nih, atau akan mungkin ada dikurangi skornya kalau seandainya kalian mengerjakan kurang dari 150 kata. Tapi kalau seandainya kalian mengerjain lebih dari 150 kata, it's okay, cuman kalian harus mempertimbangkan waktu juga. Okay.
So a good idea when you get your task, and you're like, okay, you should look for the key words in the task.
In the task.
So I've highlighted them here. We're asked to summarize the information, report the main features, and make comparisons. So those are the 3 things we need to include in our answer that are the most important. Oh,
so because it is stated in the question itself, that's what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
So it could be like different.
Sometimes different.
Oke, I see. Nah, jadi soalnya juga akan munculnya kayak gitu ya, teman-teman bisa lihat di layar. Jadi soalnya munculnya kan yang pertama, grafik ini menunjukkan tentang bla bla bla. Dan kalian disuruh mencari, kalau kebetulan yang di sini disuruh cari summarize-nya information 1, terus habis itu reporting main feature-nya nomor 2, sama make comparison where relevant, dan cari comparison-nya. Itu yang ketiga. Jadi kalian ketika mau bikin draft nih, atau mau nulis, atau kalian mikir mau bikin apa, fokus ke 3 hal itu tadi yang udah dibilang sama soalnya. Oke, Mr. John.
But as well, as I said at the start, we are not at all asked to provide interpretations, what we think it could mean, reasons why, for example, here, there are more females taking university courses than males. We're not asked why we think that is. And we're not asked for any information that's not on the graph.
Okay.
That's very important for this task 1.
Okay. Oh iya, teman-teman Miss Vicky mau ngingetin, BTW, nanti presentation-nya ini akan di-share ya ke kalian semua. Jadi kalau seandainya kalian nemu informasi yang oke banget nih, kalian nggak perlu bingung nyatet-nyatet, nggak perlu bingung nge-screenshot, karena nanti akan langsung dikirimkan ke kalian dan kalian bisa baca lagi. Jadi jangan lupa tuh tetap stay di akhir acara karena nanti kita akan kasih link untuk bisa download materi hari ini. Oke, Mister?
So I thought I would just quickly ask, what do you think are the main features of this graph?
Okay.
What are the big things happening here?
Oke, nah kalian bisa coba-coba dulu nih, mumpung di sini BTW nggak perlu kalian ngerasa, aduh harus bener banget nih jawabannya. Jadi bisa coba-coba aja di kolom komentar, nggak perlu takut salah, masukin aja apapun yang kepikiran sama kalian, supaya nanti kita bisa tahu nih, kita bisa tanya langsung sama Mr. John, Mr. John-nya di sini, kira-kira menurut yang itu tadi kalian bilang bener atau enggak, jadi kalian bisa mikir bareng-bareng. Oke, Mr. John, so a lot of people already say something in the comment section.
I can't actually see that right now.
Ya. Nah, Okay, so Fatty Nabila say it's the increasing of the data.
That's true.
Okay.
They both go up. Both lines are going up, so that's good.
Okay, so maybe I will try. And Andy say female increasingly dramatically rather than the male. Increase.
They both increase though, don't they?
But in the end?
Is at the end, but if you look quite closely, that's only over 1 year. So is that a main feature or is it just an anomaly for 1 year?
Oke, nah jadi kuncinya untuk cari main feature adalah berarti kayak apa sih overall ini tentang apa? Jadi tentang semuanya nih apa? Mungkin kita bisa fokus ke kayak, oh ternyata cewek sama cowok sama-sama increase. Is that correct? Female and male, they both increase during every year.
But there is a main point here as well. The pink line's always
above. Oh, oke.
The blue line.
Jadi kayak cewek selalu lebih tinggi populasinya daripada cowok. Is that correct? So female is always above male.
Yeah. So always in Canada since 1992 to 2006, there's always been more female graduates than males.
Okay.
But do we care why, Miss Vicky?
We should not care why.
We don't care why.
Yeah.
We're just reporting the data.
Oke, nah jadi itu teman-teman tadi. Kita nggak usah mikir kenapa ya kalau cewek lebih banyak daripada cowok. Dan kalian nggak perlu masukin itu ke tulisan kalian. Yang kalian perlu reporting adalah apa yang ada di layar aja. Contohnya tadi ini benar udah ada yang bilang both female and males go up. Ya, the highest number itu selalu female group, something like that. Nah, itu juga basically hanya di datanya aja yang kalian fokusin. Good job, everyone.
But there's quite a lot we have to do.
Okay.
As we can see, we've got to summarize, report, and make comparisons. And we've only got 150 words, which actually isn't that much. So we need to know how to structure
okay.
our language.
Will you give us some tips?
So you need to make sure your answer is clearly and logically organized. Don't start talking about one thing up here, then change your mind in the middle of a paragraph and start talking about a different topic. It's confusing to read and you'll lose points.
Okay.
So every paragraph should have a clear focus. We have 3 big focuses there. We have to summarize, we have to compare, and we need the main features.
Okay.
So make those the focus of your paragraphs. But also in every task type, it doesn't matter if it's a diagram, chart, whatever, you always need an introduction and what they call an overview. What do you think an overview could be?
Teman-teman. Disuruh bikin introduction.
This one.
Intro, no, I know. Then probably you can just say that this is a number of university graduate in Canada from 1992 to 2007, right? That's the introduction.
Yes, that's the introduction. But what about the overview? What's the difference?
I don't know. Tell me.
So yeah, your introduction is essentially this first bit at the top where you have to say what the graph shows. That's your introduction, but in your own words, remember, from the start?
Okay.
So it's quite simple, actually. You can take the task at the top. The graph below shows the number of university graduates in Canada from 1992 to 2007. And you just switch the words for synonyms.
Okay.
Words that are almost the same.
Okay.
And that is your introduction. So you can practice that.
Okay, I see.
So you can take you can find these task types and just practice changing the words. So you build up some vocabulary.
Okay.
So it's quite easy actually once you get the hang of it to write the introduction.
Okay.
Just change that little part into your own words. That's your introduction.
Oh, I see. So it's pretty easy actually. Nah, jadi teman-teman, Mr. John barusan ngasih kita 1 tips nih buat bikin introduction. Karena introduction ini penting banget untuk kalian taruh di atas tulisannya kalian supaya semua orang tahu tulisannya kalian itu tentang apa. Nah, tadi tips dari Mr. John adalah kita ambil aja yang ada di soal. Jadi kan tadi ada tulisannya the graph below shows bla 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 to 2027. Jadi kalimat pertamanya tuh yang di atas kalian masukin ke dalam introduction, tapi nggak boleh sama persis. Jadi kalian harus belajar tentang sinonim. Kalian harus belajar muter-muter kata nih supaya dia kerasa kayak beda. Dan di situ kalian jadi bisa dapat introduction gratis nih dengan ngopi aja apa yang ada di soal, dan itu pasti skornya udah oke banget. Asalkan nggak mirip ya, karena kalau ngopi berarti itu malah skornya kalian nggak oke. Jadi kalian harus belajar sinonim terus. Oke.
That's your introduction.
Oke.
But that just says what it shows. It doesn't give you any idea of the trends or any of the features. So an overview, that's probably your next paragraph. That gives a general description of the graph.
Okay, I see. Okay, so maybe we can continue ya teman-teman. Tadi ada yang tanya juga kalau seandainya kalian mau nonton ulang nih rewatch penjelasannya, bisa banget ada di YouTube kita. Jadi recording hari ini akan selalu kesimpan di YouTube IF Surabaya. Jadi kalian bisa tetap stay subscribe aja di situ. Kalian juga bisa lihat video-video sebelumnya untuk bisa belajar lagi nih atau ulangi lagi penjelasannya Mr. John hari ini. Jadi kalian bisa fokus aja hari ini dan nanti juga materinya akan kita kirim ke kalian di akhir acara. Oke, Mr. John, maybe we can continue.
Okay. So if you've got an introduction, an overview, so that's quite general. Then you need details for your next two paragraphs, where you will have to quote some of the numbers on the graph. You will need to use that. So how many paragraphs would you include in your answer? Maybe, would you say, for you?
5.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
4 or 5 would be good for
5.
this one. And there's a short example here.
Okay.
But it's missing something.
Maybe the introduction.
It is. It's missing the introduction. But we know how to do that. We'll just change the words, right? From the task.
Okay. Nah, jadi teman-teman ini salah satu contohnya nih. Is this the answer for the previous graph?
It's an answer, yeah.
Okay, it's an answer. Jadi ini salah satu cara untuk menjawabnya. Kalian bisa banget untuk nanti ngebaca ulang. Karena kebetulan kita di sini nggak punya waktu yang cukup banyak nih untuk bisa baca bareng. Tapi tips and triknya tentu aja kita kasihin ke kalian untuk kalian bisa terus-terusan ngulang lagi, baca lagi, dan bisa selalu cek YouTube kita dan juga penjelasannya untuk diulangi. Cuman ini adalah salah satu contoh untuk cara menjawab part 1 yang introduction-nya tadi udah dikasih tahu sama Mr. John untuk kalian nge-rephrase aja apa yang ada di soal, dan untuk bodinya bentuknya kayak gini nih. Jadi yang pertama kalian bahas tadi yang udah dibahas summary-nya, kemudian comparison-nya, dan juga in the end overview-nya. Alright. Nice, thank you.
But structuring only gets us some points, 25% of our points, actually. The other parts you can see here. Task achievement, which is, did you answer the question or the task, basically? Did you hit those key points of summarizing, giving main features, and comparing? Coherence and cohesion, that's another 25% of your points. That is it logical, in order, the structure, like we just talked about? Lexical resource, do you know what that could be?
Dictionary, vocabulary.
Yes, vocabulary.
Okay.
Use a wide variety of vocabulary.
Okay, so
and use fancy words.
Fancy words.
Don't just say big or good.
Okay.
Use synonyms like fancier words. You'll get more points.
What's the synonym, the fancy word for big?
Big, what could we, it could be enormous. Is it really, really big? So we don't say really big, we could say enormous.
Okay.
An enormous difference.
Okay.
Yeah?
Nice. And then what's the other one?
Grammatical range and accuracy. I think that's quite clear what that is. How is your grammar accurate? And range means, did you just use simple grammar?
Oh, I see.
all the time,
Uh-huh.
like present simple, present simple, present simple, or did you use a variety of maybe more complex grammar?
I see. Oke. Nah, jadi teman-teman ini juga cukup penting ya untuk kalian tahu apa aja yang dinilai di tas 1 tadi. Yang pertama, apa kalian mengerjakan tas 1-nya, 25% skornya atau kalau seandainya kalian selesai bisa 150 kata atau lebih, maka tas achievement-nya kalian oke. Coherent dan cohesion-nya itu berarti kalian masuk akal nggak nih bacaannya. Dan untuk membuat bacaannya masuk akal, tadi udah dikasih tahu sama Mr. John tipsnya, yang di atas overview, di tengah bodinya apa, atau kalian contohnya apa, dan yang terakhirnya summary-nya. Jadi ketika kalian follow itu aja, itu udah bisa membuat tulisan kalian itu coherent dan cohesion. Oke? And then the lexical resource, tadi Mr. John bilang, bahwa jangan pakai kalimat yang basic-basic aja nih. Contoh kalian perlu bikin kata very big, maka jangan pakai very big, pakai what is that again? Enormous. Enormous. Oke. Nah, sebenarnya kita bahas banget loh, massive. Jadi kita juga bahas itu loh di TikToknya IEF Surabaya. Jadi kalian bisa mampir nih ke TikToknya IEF Surabaya untuk kalian ngeliat dikit-dikit tipis-tipis belajar bahasa Inggris. Karena di situ kita juga ngasih contoh, jangan pakai very big, tapi pakai enormous atau apa pilihannya. Jadi sambil kalian scrolling TikTok sambil belajar juga untuk ngerjain soal IELTS ini. Dan juga yang terakhir adalah grammatical range dan accuracy. Jadi kata Mr. John tadi, jangan cuma pakai kayak simple present aja terus dari awal sampai akhir paragraf. Mungkin kalian bisa pakai past atau lain-lain. Dan itu akan membantu banget kalian untuk dapat skor yang paling oke dan dapat band yang lebih tinggi di writing task part 1. Oke, Mr. John, I think we all get the idea. And dan kalau saya memang kalian masih bingung, no worries banget karena masih bisa diputar dan di sini tempatnya untuk belajar. Jadi kalian tinggal fokus aja dengerin dan nanti kalian bisa akan latihan.
One question, please.
Oh, really?
If there is grammatical error on our writing, if the point will get deducted or what?
There's different bands, so you are allowed errors actually. Even to get band 9, you are allowed a few errors.
Okay.
But the amount of errors you make brings it down. So even to get the top score, band 9, expert user,
Okay.
you can still actually make a few mistakes.
Okay. Miss Vicky, explain please.
Oke, nah kalau seandainya tadi ada yang nanya, kalau seandainya errornya, grammarnya error, gimana? Dikurangi nggak nilainya? Tadi kata Mr. John, bahkan band yang paling tinggi aja, band 9 itu, nggak apa-apa meskipun ada error-error sedikit. Cuman semakin banyak error kalian, maka band kalian akan tentu aja semakin turun, karena itu menunjukkan kemampuan bahasa Inggris kalian. Gitu. Alright.
Okay. So just a quick overview there, what we should do.
Okay.
You should plan very quickly your answer to the structure before you start.
Okay.
Use fancy language, like we talked about. But that was only task 1.
Okay.
We've still got another task to do. So, task 2. Do you remember how in task 1, I was saying, do not give your opinion, do not give suggestions, none of that, don't do it. Task 2, this is your chance. This is where they want you to do that. So this time you write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or problem. And there's more words, 250 words.
Okay, so this is when you get more score.
This is worth twice the amount of task 1. It's longer. So you should set your time accordingly.
Okay.
So yes, this time we do want opinions.
Okay.
And there's 4 main answer types that, again, it can change depending on your task on the day, but there's 4 categories really that they will ask for. They will ask for either your opinion, to what extent you agree or disagree, or they might ask a discussion question. What are the benefits and drawbacks, advantages, disadvantages? They might ask for both of those things, or they might ask for a situation. Give you a problem, what's your solution?
Okay.
So those all involve some of your own opinion. Here's an example.
Okay, so maybe I will just doing a bit of explanation ya.
Sure.
Nah, jadi teman-teman, tadi kan udah lihat ini tas keduanya, seperti tadi Mr. John bilang, bahwa kalau yang pertama tadi kalian cuma boleh fokus ke data dan nggak boleh ngasih opini, task kedua ini kalian harus memberikan full opini kalian. Jadi kalian akan dinilai berdasarkan cara kalian memberikan opini atau memberikan argumen-argumen nih terkait apa yang mereka minta. Tergantung sama soalnya ya. Cuman kategori soalnya tadi kata Mr. John ada 4. Yang di slide sebelumnya ada yang ngasih discussion atau opini doang atau ngasih comparison. Dan kalian juga bisa belajar masing-masing dari itu gimana strukturnya sendiri-sendiri supaya makin tepat atau makin mudah untuk kalian ketika nanti ngerjain karena udah tahu, oh ini tentang opini, oh ini tentang comparison. Jadi kalian udah langsung tahu strukturnya kayak gimana, udah tinggal ngerjain aja ketika hari H. Nah juga ini salah satu contohnya nih, kalau kalian penasaran, kira-kira nanti bentuknya kayak gimana, dan ini langsung dari IELTS-nya, nanti munculnya akan kayak gini. Jadi bisa habisin sekitar 40 menit, topiknya adalah tentang bla bla bla, disuruh give reason for your answer, disuruh kasih relevant example, dan itu dari pengetahuan kalian sendiri. Jadi penting banget untuk kalian selalu belajar tentang mungkin kehidupan secara umum, atau mungkin baca-baca koran, supaya kalian bisa memberikan example yang oke-oke ketika ngajain writing task. Okay, Mister?
Okay. So we see the example here.
Okay.
Everyone's read it, I hope. So the key question at the end is, do the disadvantages of international tourism outweigh the advantages?
Mm-hmm.
So what type of question is that, do we think?
Okay.
Maybe they could have a quick go in the chat box.
Oke, menurut teman-teman, coba ketik di kolom chat box, itu apa tadi contoh soalnya? Can we go back a bit? I want to read it again. So, do the disadvantages of international tourism outweigh the advantages? Jadi disadvantages sama advantages ya. Oke, can we go back to the next slide?
What type of question is that?
Nah, menurut teman-teman kalau kita disuruh nyari kelebihan dan kekurangan dari sesuatu, itu apa ya? Opinion or discussion atau situation? Coba ketik di kolom chat box nih. Oke, so Muhammad Nanda say discussion. Rizky Rinda say opinion/discussion. Rotua say discussion. Alma say the yellow one.
Yeah, there's a lot to write. Easier.
So what is the answer actually, Mr. John?
We would say this one's a discussion question.
Okay, it's a discussion question. Why?
Because you are asked advantages and disadvantages of benefits and drawbacks.
Okay.
But there is, I agree with some of them, there is still some of your opinion. But if you give your opinion, you have to back it up with clear reasons and examples.
Okay.
So for us in Indonesia, we're quite lucky here. If you were to get this task, it says international tourism has brought enormous benefits to many places. At the same time, there's a concern about its impact on local and the environment. Where in Indonesia have you been, maybe, that could help you answer this? Because it says at the bottom, your own experience. You can talk about your own experience.
Oke, jadi ketika kita bahas topik soal international tourism, terus habis itu disuruh kasihin personal experience kita sendiri, kita bisa kayak lihat kita sendiri nih, apa ya menurutku di negaraku yang kayaknya ada international turis banyak datang, terus kok kayaknya memberikan dampak positif sama negatif di kota tersebut. Jadi kalian bisa angkat nih topik itu. Mungkin ada yang tahu kota apa atau daerah mana yang banyak international tourism datang, yang mungkin kalian bisa jadi bahas. Nusa Dua Beach in Bali, they say. Rizky Rinda say Bali. Is it correct? Maybe we can put...
I think that's a great example.
Okay, it's a great example, teman-teman.
It's world famous, they get loads of tourists, and yeah, that's good, right? What I was about to give some answers there. So what advantages does that give? And what's maybe not so good about that? Think about Bali. Maybe now, could you just very quickly give us some ideas? What's good about lots of tourists in Bali and what's bad about it?
Oke, kalian bisa coba brainstorming dikit nih teman-teman di kolom komentar. Kira-kira apa yang bagus kalau seandainya international turis itu banyak datang ke Bali, sama apa buruknya? Coba satu contoh, supaya kalian semua juga bisa lihat nih. Atau kita bisa ngecek juga sama Mr. John, kira-kira bener nggak kalau seandainya yang kita bahas adalah itu? For me, Mr. John, I think if it's like, yeah, true. Naya, Putriansha say, if the disadvantages will be trash, a lot of trash everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Bad for the environment.
The good thing is money.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's two main points, right? And people talk about it in Indonesia a lot. Oh, the environmental effect, Bali's getting dirty or whatever. But yeah, sometimes it's good for locals because they can earn money from tourists.
Okay.
But there's lots of other examples as well.
Yeah.
But the point of doing this is what you should do before you write your answer in the test. This is your planning stage.
Oh, will they give you like a paper and pen to make a draft or something? Or
They will. They will provide paper for you to write on, a quick plan.
Quick plan.
So, well, we have 40 minutes for this. And you have to write 250 words. So maybe you want to spend about 10 minutes planning your answer. So it's structured properly. Your ideas, you get ideas before you start. If you just start writing and then you remember something, it's very hard to go back. This is written. You can't just copy and paste on the computer. So it's you need to plan your answer.
Oke, jadi nanti teman-teman akan dapat nih untuk pen and paper untuk kalian bisa coba ngedrafting kira-kira kayak gimana sih strukturnya kalian nantinya seperti apa. Terus habis itu kalian bisa langsung masukin itu ke tulisan kalian. Jadi katanya Mr. John tadi kalian kan dapat 40 menit. 10 menit pertama maksimalin untuk menentukan nih kalian mau nulis apa aja di paragraf pertama, kedua, ketiga, sama keempat supaya nanti nggak loncat-loncat ketika kalian langsung go show aja. Jadi jangan lupa planningnya, jangan lupa untuk tetap fokus sama ngasih example, terus habis itu juga introduction sama endingnya itu juga tetap, karena di sini kalian butuh 250 kata untuk bisa scoring task kedua ini tadi tentang opini yang kalian berikan. Oke, nice.
Always do plan on it. It's very important. But also, as an example for this particular task, we're probably going to have to express our personal opinion.
Okay, wah penting nih.
So, to get the top scores, you need to vary your language. You can't just keep saying the same way to give your opinion. Or in my opinion, this. In my opinion, this. You have to give different phrases to give your opinion, and that's not just giving your opinion, talking about someone else's opinion or anything. You have to vary your language to get the top score.
Oke, nah ini juga salah satu tips penting kalau kalian aiming untuk skor yang lebih tinggi di IELTS. Kalian nggak boleh mengulangi frasa-frasa yang sama terus. Contoh kalian memang benar sih, in my opinion XYZ gitu, tapi nanti kalian ulangi lagi in my opinion XYZ lagi. Nah, kalian bisa pakai yang udah Mr. John kasih di layar. Ini adalah beberapa contoh ketika kalian mau ngasih personal opinion. Jadi kalian yang pertama bisa jadi paragraf pertama pakai yang pertama, paragraf kedua pakai yang kedua, dan kalian bisa ngapalin nih. Ini juga nggak perlu di screenshot karena nanti kita akan kirimin ke kalian, jadi kalian bisa coba-coba dan coba aplikasiin di tulisan kalian ke depannya. Okay, thank you Mr. John for the tips. It's really help. English hate repetition. True.
And this is just a very simple structure you could use for most of the task types for task 2.
Oke, jadi dapat contekannya juga ya. Jadi dikasih untuk introduction-nya isinya itu paragraf 1 itu, paragraf 2 sama conclusion. Tadi ada yang tanya, kalian bisa dapat materinya nggak setelah acara? Bisa. Jadi jangan lupa untuk tetap stay sama acara, karena nanti kalian akan dapat e-certificate dan juga materinya yang hari ini dipresentasiin sama Mr. John. Jadi kalian bisa baca-baca ulang dan juga belajar lagi sendiri.
So to put it really simply, you give your introduction, state your opinion. Paragraph 1 could be advantages, paragraph 2 disadvantages, then conclude the whole thing with your overall thoughts. But always balance.
Okay, I see.
Okay. And the points are awarded for very much the same as task 1. Task response versus task achievement, they're pretty much the same thing. Did you answer the question? And the rest are the same as task 1.
Oke, jadi sama aja yang kayak task pertama tadi, yang dinilai adalah 4 hal itu tadi. Jangan lupa untuk tetap varying, kalian mau vocabulary-nya seperti apa, kemudian jangan lupa untuk tetap bikin structure-nya oke untuk kalian dapat. Jadi pretty much gampang, itu doang yang kalian perlu lakuin untuk writing, dan kalau kalian udah dapat resep-resepnya nih, kayak yang tadi udah dikasih tahu sama Mr. John, kalian cuma tinggal latihan-latihan aja, dan juga firing, atau kayak latihannya, diagramnya beda-beda, dan kalian pasti cukup prepare nih untuk datang ke IELTS. Jadi yang penting adalah latihan, terus-terusan baca artikel-artikel bahasa Inggris, jadi kalian terbiasa. Oke, Mr. John?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, just a quick guide there if you want to screenshot it.
No, we will send them the material afterwards, so they don't have to screenshot or take a note.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Good. Right. That's half time.
Okay.
We're running over, I think.
Nah, teman-teman, tadi kebetulan kita udah sampai setengahnya nih, meskipun kita udah 1 jam, it's already 1 hour.
I know.
Ya, dan kita baru sampai setengahnya,
There's a lot to talk
soalnya
about.
memang banyak banget yang kita bahas soal IELTS, yang tentu aja seru dan penting semuanya yang harus kita bahas. Jadi it's okay, teman-teman bisa tetap stay sampai akhir acara, dan kalau seandainya memang kalian juga perlu untuk ngulangin lagi, atau tadi kayaknya penjelasan terlalu cepat, Miss Vicky, aku nggak ngamper soalnya cepet banget, no worries, karena bisa diulangi lagi di YouTube IEF Surabaya. Jadi kalian juga tetap bisa baca materinya. Dan Mas Vicky juga mau ingetin bahwa kita tetap ada konsultasi gratis loh. Kalau seandainya teman-teman di sini tertarik untuk mau ngobrol sama teacher-teacher IF, kayak Mr. John tadi. Jadi kalian nanti bisa tanya nih, kira-kira kemampuan bahasa Inggris kalian tuh seberapa? Kalau kalian mungkin mau ikut IELTS itu kira-kira band kalian bakalan di band nomor berapa? Dan kalian butuh ningkatin berapa band lagi sih? Dan materi apa aja yang harus kalian pelajari untuk bisa sampai di band tersebut kalau kalian mau IELTS. Jadi kalian bisa banget untuk save nomor HP-nya IF, karena fasilitas yang kalian dapetin itu adalah gratis sama sekali. Jadi tinggal ketik aja nama sama usia kalian, dan nanti akan dijadwalkan untuk sesi konsultasi di IF terdekat atau secara online. Oke teman-teman, jangan lupa juga untuk mendaftar di seminar kita minggu depan. Jadi minggu depan akan ada seminar IELTS lagi, terutama untuk kalian yang pengen banget memang fokus untuk IELTS. Minggu depan kita akan sama Mr. Trey dari salah satu IF teacher. Mr. Trey ini sendiri juga lagi ngajar IELTS banget nih saat ini. Jadinya kalian akan langsung belajar tentang listening and reading section sama Mr. Trey. Oke, jangan lupa daftar. Akan ada link early bird-nya yang dikirimkan sama rekan saya Mr. Farid di chat box. Jadi kalian bisa langsung tanya aja sama Mr. Farid, mana linknya? Aku mau daftar sekarang. No worries, bisa banget, bisa kalian save. Dan juga jangan lupa untuk stay ada acara, karena nanti kita akan bagikan e-certificate. Oke, Mr. John.
Okay. Second half. Ready? Okay. Well, as we said, we're doing 2 parts today. We've done the writing. Now we're going to do speaking. So again, quickly, let's see what you know first about the speaking section. So how many parts? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Poll.
Quick poll. Super quick. What do you think?
Mana pollnya? Nah, nah itu dia pollnya muncul. Menurut kalian 3 atau 4 atau 1 apa 2? Kalau seandainya di listening. Nah ini nggak akan lama-lama ya listening section, karena kan nggak ada soalnya. Kita cuma dengerin tips and trick aja dari Mr. John. Karena listening section meskipun sebenarnya yang paling gampang, tapi yang paling bikin deg-degan karena kita harus ngomong langsung. Right, Mr. John, we have to talk with them, with the examiner.
Spoilers.
Oke. Maaf ya teman-teman, spoiler.
Well, are we ready? Is the poll finished?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it was pretty close. But congratulations to most of you. 48% of you said C, 3 parts. That is correct.
Wow, banyak ya. There's a lot ya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, next question. How long do we have in the speaking? 5 to 7 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, 11 to 14 minutes, or 15 to 20 minutes. We've got 3 parts, so how long do we have?
Gimana menurut kalian berapa lama? I think, Mr. John, it will be like long. 15 to 20, because we have 3 sections. Is that correct? Well, I don't know. Let's do the
Are we
polling.
going to do a poll?
Okay. Mana nih pollingnya? Mr. Farid?
See if they agree with you.
Nah, menurut kalian berapa lama sih listening? Ini bukan listening ya, speaking section tuh biasanya berapa lama menurut
I
kalian?
think you've influenced them here.
Iya.
We're going D.
Jangan, bisa jadi ya, iya kan, logiknya bener kan teman-teman? Logiknya bener kan, kalau seandainya ada 3, berapa lama gitu? Pasti bisa 15 sampai 20 menit. Is that correct?
Don't listen to Miss Vicky. The answer's C, not D. It's 11 to 14 minutes. It's a weird time, right? It's a bit weird, but we'll get into why it's that amount later. Okay, don't worry, only one more. So, last question. Do you take the speaking test with another student? So you've got someone to talk to? Or are you just alone?
Okay, yes or no? Menurut kalian,
Are you with
sendirian
another student? Yes or no?
sama temen nggak di ruangan kelas gitu?
Yeah, no hints this time. Okay, I think we've got an answer really. Okay, should we start?
Yep.
80% of you are saying no other student. And you're correct. Well done.
Yay. Okay, so we're like alone.
What? Alone? Exactly. How does that work? Are you just going to give a speech for 11 to 14 minutes? Or is it different? Well, you're kind of giving a speech, but only in part 2. Not all the parts. The examiner is also with you.
Okay.
So let's sum up 3 parts, 11 to 14 minutes. What are the 3 parts? Part 1 is an introduction and interview. So that's the examiner interviewing you. We'll go into more detail shortly. Part 2 is the bit where you're kind of giving a speech. We call that a monologue.
Monologue.
And then part 3 is a discussion. Again, with the examiner, not another student.
Okay.
So let's have a quick look at task 1, introduction and interview. So this is general questions that you've all seen before, related to your life. It could be about hobbies, work, entertainment, but they're not, if you look at these examples here, these are very common examples. They're not too bad, right? Not too bad. Where are you from? What do you do?
Easy
Should be
peasy.
easy, right? You would think.
Yeah.
So maybe we can try it.
Okay. Oh, maybe before we try that, I will just give a bit recap
Sure.
of the previous one. Can you go back a bit, one slide? Oke. Nah, teman-teman, jadi sedikit untuk nge-recap speaking part-nya untuk IELTS section ini. Jadi kalian akan bareng sama salah satu interviewer di situ. Jadi examinernya akan berdua nih sama kamu di ruangan. Terus habis itu kalian nanti akan dapat 3 section. Yang pertama itu ya udah kayak yang tadi Mr. John bilang, introduction sama interview. Bakal ditanyain hal-hal personal tentang kalian, hobi kamu apa, kamu berasal dari mana, gitu-gitu doang. Terus yang kedua adalah monolog, di mana kalian akan diberikan topik, nanti kita bahas lebih lanjut. Dan yang part ketiga adalah discussion, dan masing-masing ini ada sekitar waktunya sendiri, hingga bisa mencapai 11-14 menit itu tadi. Nah, coba sekarang kita bahas part satunya sedikit yuk sama Mr. John. Tadi kita mau ngasih contoh gimana sih waktu ketika introduction sama interview. Oke, Mr. John. Let's see. I think I can score this. It's easy peasy. You just ask me question about like,
yourself.
Ya kan teman-teman, gampang banget kalau cuma ditanyain gitu. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Miss Vicky.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Where are you from?
Malang.
Thank you. What do you do?
I work at EF as a data analyst.
How long have you been studying English?
You know, like about when I was still child.
Have you ever been to a zoo or wildlife park?
Zoo or wildlife park? Yes, of course.
When you were a child, did you think a lot about your future?
Of course. I want to be doctor.
Oh, but you're data analyst.
I know.
How do you usually spend your weekends?
You know, just like in home watching Netflix, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, did Miss Vicky answer the questions?
Yes, of course, I answer it. Right?
You did, right? Yeah, this is true. You did answer the questions. But how long did it take Miss Vicky to answer the questions?
Maybe 30 seconds.
30 seconds. This part's 3 to 4 minutes, though.
Okay. So you don't have more question for me?
There might be more questions, but we're going to run out if you keep going that fast.
Okay. So
do you think in an IELTS exam, remember, you want that band 9, let's be honest, you want the top score, expert user. Where are you from? So again, where are you from?
Malang.
Malang. So in just Malang, is that going to get the best score?
Maybe not.
Possibly not. So what else could we talk about regarding that question? Where are you from? What else could we say about Malang or your hometown? It doesn't matter where it is. Manchester for me, Surabaya for some of you.
Okay.
Sydney maybe.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you can give an example, Mr. John, how to answer the question.
Well, I was going to ask them in the chat.
Okay.
What else could you add to that answer? Where are you from? Not just the place. What else could you add to get yourself a more full answer and more points, basically? Let's give them just 1 minute in the chat.
Ya, teman-teman bisa langsung ngetik aja di kolom komentar ya. Kira-kira apa aja yang bisa kalian tambahin nih, instead cuma jawab dari Malang gitu. Nah, coba mungkin sekarang sambil kalian coba ketik chatnya di kolom komentar, kita bisa langsung denger sama dari Mr. John. Kira-kira kalian tuh harusnya jawabnya kayak gimana sih? So, Mr. John, we are eager to know what is the correct way to answer the question. Can I be the interviewer this time?
Are we not going to? Okay.
They will chatting while we do this, so they can add.
Right. I think. Okay. Sure.
Okay. So, Mr. John, where are you from?
I'm from Manchester in England. As you know, it's quite famous for football. There's 2 big clubs in Manchester, Manchester City, Manchester United. My family all like Manchester City, so I like City. It's famous mainly for that, but also for its weather, which is really bad, rainy, windy, and all my family going back for a long, long time are from Manchester, and actually me and my parents were the first ones to leave.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, so that's how you answer to that question. So like you give what famous in your city, probably.
You just give more information,
Okay.
yeah, and what it means to you. So I was like,
What it means to
a
you.
bit of personal things. So I was okay. All my family are from Manchester, actually, and we were the first to leave. And now I'm in Surabaya.
Okay, so Leili says that, well, I am from Martapura. It's located in South Kalimantan. Martapura is well known as Kota Santri. If you visit this town, you'll find many people who wear hijab. How about that?
Great.
Yeah?
Much better than just saying, I'm from Manchester.
Okay, cool.
Great, good job.
Oke, good job teman-teman. Jadi kalian udah tahu ya cara jawabnya. Jadi kalian bisa kayak nyebutin apa yang menarik nih dari kota kalian, atau yang personal tentang kota kalian menurut kalian. Jadi kalau misalnya kalian dapat pertanyaan seperti itu dan juga pertanyaan yang lain, cara elaborate-nya adalah seperti yang tadi udah dicontohin nih sama Mr. John. Thank you so much, Mr. John, for the tips.
So yeah, just do the same for all of these questions, basically.
Yeah.
More full in your answer, not just one word. Task 2, this is the bit where I said it is a little bit like speech. This is kind of what a lot of students dread. They don't like this part. You will be given a task like this. Describe someone you know who does something well, and it will tell you literally what to say. You should say who this person is, how you know this person, what they do well, and explain why you think this person is so good at doing this. And you can see this on paper. And you get a minute to think and write notes.
Okay.
It's only 1 minute. So do you think you could write in full sentences what you're going to say in 1 minute for all of this?
No,
No.
probably.
So you haven't got long enough for that, but you can do notes, bullet points, anything that can keep you on track, ideas, just single words, usually. So you've got a minute and you can use those notes when you start to talk, and you have to talk for 1 to 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, the examiner cuts you off. Even if you're mid-sentence, they'll cut.
Okay.
And then they'll ask you 1 or 2 follow-up questions. And that's part 2.
Nah, jadi untuk yang kedua nih ya, tadi kan udah selesai yang part pertama, kalian udah interview dan lain-lain. Dan yang kedua ini, kalian akan dikasih 1 menit, dikasih soal dulu pertamanya, dikasih soal, kemudian dalam 1 menit kalian akan disuruh bikin draft nih, boleh nyatet di kertas apa aja yang mau kalian bilang. Dan dalam waktu setelah 1 menit itu berakhir, 2 menit selanjutnya kalian akan monolog nih soal apa yang udah kalian topik tadi dibahas. Contohnya ini tentang describe someone you know who does something well. Kalian bisa bahas tentang ayah kalian mungkin, atau bahas tentang Abraham Lincoln mungkin, terserah siapa aja. Waktu pikir kalian adalah 1 menit, dan waktu kalian ngomong tentang orang tersebut adalah 2 menit itu tadi. Dan pastiin untuk kalian juga latihan nih, 2 menit itu bisa ngobrol, berhentinya juga pas di 2 menit, atau bahkan 2 menit kurang dikit, karena ketika 2 menit pas, interviewer kalian akan langsung nge-cut. Jadinya meskipun kalian lagi di tengah-tengah pun akan tetap langsung di-cut. Jadinya pastiin untuk kalian udah latihan. Gimana caranya untuk membuat kalimat ini jadi 2 menit aja. Kalian akan dapat band yang cukup oke nih kalau udah. Oke, Mr. John?
We'll say a lot of students think this is easy-ish when they first like, oh yeah, I can talk for 1 or 2 minutes. It's actually longer. When you start to do it, it's like, oh, that was what, 30 seconds? Oh, I'm kind of finished. You have to practice this bit a lot.
Okay.
Then task 3 always follows on from task 2. So the topic was, in our case, for task 2, talk about someone you know who does something really well. So the task 3 questions, as you can see, they're about skills, abilities, what skills you think will be important in the future, but the topic follows on from task 2.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But this time you do not get to see the questions. It's just from the examiner.
How long?
So this again is 4 to 5 minutes. This is to finish off the speaking test.
Oke, jadi ini juga adalah salah satu finalnya ketika kalian ngelakuin speaking test. Tadi ketika udah selesai monolog nih, kalian udah dikasih topik, dan untuk yang part 3, interviewernya akan ngasih ke kalian follow up question tentang apa yang udah kalian bilang di task 2, atau topiknya ini yang akan ditanyain di task ketiga itu nyambung-nyambung juga sama task kedua. Jadi kalian akan mendiskusikan tentang topik yang tadi udah dibahas. Contohnya tadi udah ngomongin soal seseorang, dan ini contohnya task 3 juga yang muncul di IELTS. What skill and ability people most want to have today? Meskipun nggak ada sangkut pautnya sama yang kalian bilang, tapi biasanya topiknya kurang lebih sama, tentang orang atau tentang famous people dan lain-lain. Dan kalian nggak ngelihat soalnya di awal ya, jadi nanti interviewernya akan langsung nanya ke kalian dan kalian langsung jawab.
But as I said, this time you don't get to see the questions.
Yeah.
And they're not about you. They're about issues, topics, whatever. So maybe sometimes you need a minute to think. Or not a minute.
Okay.
But a short time to get your answer ready. But you don't want to just sit there in silence and just go, like that. So we use what we call fillers, and these are useful to give yourself thinking time. So if you get good at using these fillers, they're automatic, and actually in your own mind, you're thinking of your answer.
Okay.
So you could say, that's a difficult question, but I'll try to answer it as best as I can. And in that time, you're thinking of what you're going to say. And these are good. These you don't get penalized points for this. This is seen as a natural way. We do these all the time, actually, if you think about it in conversation.
Okay.
They're kind of a fancy way to go like that.
I see. So, Mr. John, one of them asking, are we allowed to read our notes while talking?
In part 2?
In part
task 2? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
But in part 2?
Task 2. Yeah, well, you can't take notes for task 1 or task 3.
Yeah, because it's like interview, right?
It's interview style.
Okay. Nah, di pas task 2, tadi soal pertanyaan, kalian boleh baca notes kalian nggak? Itu boleh di task 2, karena kalian kan memang bikin notes nih untuk bikin monolog tadi itu. Jadi kalian bisa sambil baca, kira-kira next-nya kalian mau bilang apa. Cuman kalau task 3, itu biasanya pertanyaannya random banget nih teman-teman. Jadi kayak nanyain opini kalian soal contoh global warming, kayak gitu. Dan kalian kan nggak punya catatan apapun nih soal itu. Dan makanya, karena contohnya mungkin soalnya cukup random, Mr. John di sini barusan ngasih kalian filler namanya. Jadi kata-kata yang bisa kalian gunakan untuk ketika kalian mikir. Jadi kalau seandainya biasanya orang-orang cuma suka bilang jadi nanti bla bla bla. Nah, ketika nya itu kalian bisa langsung ganti dengan filler yang lebih fancy, yaitu yang ada di layar nih. Kalian juga nanti akan dapat nih fillernya. Like the first thing I should say is, nah itu waktu kalian mikir. Jadi kalian dapat waktu untuk mikir, dan ini juga nggak mengurangi poin kalian ketika kalian menggunakan filler, karena itu juga katanya Mr. John cukup umum di conversation pada umumnya, karena orang-orang biasanya pakai kata-kata seperti ini. Thank you so much for the tips.
No problem. So yeah, we should know obviously how it's scored. Kind of like the writing in some ways, fluency and coherence. That's just how you structure your answer. Does it flow? Or is it confusing because you're going from topic to topic to topic? Okay. Lexical resource, we know that's vocabulary. Just like the writing, try to be fancy. Grammatical range and accuracy, same as the writing. Do you use complex grammar? How accurate are you? And of course, with speaking, the difference is pronunciation. That does not mean you need to sound like an American or an English person or an Australian, but it does mean you need to be clear. Okay. So you don't have to try and copy an accent, but you must speak clearly. Okay. Jadi kalau seandainya juga tadi kata Mr. John, kalau seandainya apa yang dinilai dari speaking tes IELTS ini. Jadi selain kalian juga lancar, juga dictionary yang kalian pakai itu banyak, vocabulary kalian yang pakai itu nggak diulang-ulang terus, karena kalian udah belajar banyak vocabulary, dan juga grammaticalnya kalian oke, akurat juga, dan yang penting pronunciation-nya kalian itu jelas. Kalian nggak perlu punya aksen, bahasa Indonesia bisa British bisa, American bisa, Australian bisa. Yang penting kalian mengutarakannya dengan jelas ke examinernya. Dan kalau seandainya kalian mungkin mau coba untuk kayak aku mau accent lebih British supaya nanti dinilai lebih bagus, itu nggak akan mempengaruhi nilai kalian selama apa yang kalian sampaikan atau kalimat bahasa Inggrisnya secara general itu benar. Okay, thanks, Mr. John. It's the last slide.
Okay.
We're there. So just a quick overview. How should you answer the speaking question? Don't try and memorize answers because you sound like a robot as you repeat them. Also, you end up giving the wrong answer because you've memorized this answer, so you try to use it for the wrong question. Talk fluently, give relevant responses, don't go off topic. Use descriptive words, like we said, with the vocabulary. Be confident, express your opinions, and obviously speak more than the examiner.
Okay.
Don't, you're the one that needs to speak, not them. And I'd say that's about it.
Okay, wow, pretty easy actually. Kayaknya ya kan teman-teman, jadi kayaknya masih bisa dipelajari. Cukup oke juga tips and triknya yang tadi dikasih sama Mr. John. Yang penting kalian ngomong lebih banyak ketika speaking test daripada examinernya kalian. Karena kalian nih yang mau show off atau mau pamer kemampuan bahasa Inggrisnya seberapa, supaya mereka tahu dia harus ngasih kita skor yang tinggi. Jadi jangan lupa untuk tutup latihan. Kita juga udah sampai di penghujung acara di sini. Kita udah bahas soal writing tadi. Udah ada 2 sesi yang kita bahas panjang lebar yang teman-teman bisa banget untuk ulangi di YouTube. Dan juga kita juga udah bahas 3 section untuk speaking test. Dan we would like to thank Mr. John. Terima kasih. Dan yang udah nanya pertanyaan juga tadi kita udah bahas jawabannya. Kalau seandainya kalian masih lebih punya pertanyaan lebih lanjut, kita akan bahas lebih lanjut di EF Talks selanjutnya atau di TikTok EF Surabaya, Instagram EF Surabaya, atau juga YouTube-nya EF Surabaya. Jadi pastiin kalian subscribe sama kita dan tetap gabung jadi komunitas kita untuk kita tetap terus bisa kontak-kontakan dan kalian bisa belajar lebih banyak lagi. Mungkin kita say goodbye dulu sama Mr. John. Mr. John, thank you so much for you are being here today and explain stuff.
You're welcome. Pleasure.
Okay.
Hope you have fun with Mr. Trey next week.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for having us. Terima kasih juga dan semoga teman-teman di sini setelah acara selesai bisa tipis-tipis nih ningkatin bandnya kalian. Dan juga jangan lupa untuk join seminarnya kita tentang IELTS lagi next week supaya ilmunya kalian makin sempurna dan juga bandnya kalian bisa ngedongkrak lebih tinggi lagi supaya bisa sampai ke goal yang kalian inginkan. Dan jangan lupa juga kita udah sampai di hari acara, ini adalah link untuk menuju survei kita. Jadi kita pengen banget dengar input dari kalian atau materi apa tentang bahasa Inggris yang mau lagi kalian bahas di minggu-minggu EF Talks ke depannya. Supaya kita bahas lagi bisa sama kah teacher-teacher seperti Mr. John di sini. Nah, teman-teman juga nanti setelah mengisi, kalian akan langsung dikirimkan e-certificate dan juga materi yang kita bahas di EF Talks pada pagi hari ini. Jadi materi yang tadi udah dibikinin sama Mr. John akan kita kirimkan juga ke kalian supaya kalian bisa dapat cheat-nya sama hint-hintnya tadi yang bisa langsung kalian pakai untuk belajar sendiri. Thank you so much for everyone. Jangan lupa juga save nomor HP-nya EF dan bisa kirimin juga kalau kalian tertarik untuk ngobrol sama bahasa Inggris sama teman-teman kayak Mr. John. Okay, see you. Thank you so much for having us. Very happy to see you all, everyone here. Everyone's so excited. Dan apapun cita-citanya, belajar bahasa Inggrisnya di EF. Dadah!
Thank you.